It is said that the Russian capital was built on top of 5 hills. If this is a founded legend, to be compared with Rome, it will stay in the collective imaginary. What it is in fact true are the 608 hectares of waste hills surrounding Moscow's periphery, urban landfills that fill the landscape with piles of used materials. Moscow produces more than 50 million cubic meters of urban waste a year, and only 4% is recycled. More than 90% of waste in Russia is not processed and ends up in the landfills. These new hills on Moscow's landscape are in part a result of our massive consumption behavior that ignores the afterlife of products. When we get closer to the city, we realize that there are urban spaces where these behaviors are not only happening, but are also being promoted, camouflaging as entertainment, retail spaces, and shopping malls. For these spaces to succeed, they need accessibility within the city, so they are strategically situated in the nodes of the transportation net. They are found next to the main stations or hubs of the city, taking advantage of the fact that the commuters need to change their means of transport to draw their attention. On some occasions, these two buildings are so close together that they form a unified single urban entity that strongly promotes consumption as a way of entertainment. We get closer to one of these hybrids to analyze it closely, the Kievskaya station. The north facade of the station faces directly to the Evropeski shopping mall, forming an elongated plaza open to the city on one side. Under it, there are 3 underground metro platforms with different depths, and all joined with a complex tunnel system with multiple entrances. This tunnel layout determines the daily performance of the commuters moving within it. Due to the impossibility of traveling there, the surrounding was digitally studied through a collection of images that display the materiality of every surface. Stations like this are also representative spaces of the city, and especially in Moscow during Soviet times, they were used as tools to create a feeling of collective national pride. Known as palaces for the people, the stations were built with rich decorative materials such as granite, terrazzo, and marble. After this analysis, and inspired with the existing surroundings, I propose to extend the transportation hub, creating a new axis that provides an opportunity for a type of entertainment that doesn't promote consumption. The performance of the daily transit is incorporated as a theatrical program into the building. This new entrance will be built with recycled materials as a way of directly criticizing the shopping mall and the consumerism it represents. I decide to dig the project into the earth as a gesture of approximation to the existing infrastructure. This action is seen as a negative of a landfill, a subtraction instead of addition. But this is not only a hole in the ground, it is also a patio that organizes all the program and allows a higher degree of visual relations. In addition to the hub's expansion with this new path, a theater auditorium, a theater school, and a residence for artists and students are introduced as a new program. These new uses are connected through a backstage that makes possible the circulation of the actors behind the walls. Despite of the central role of the patio, the project crosses linearly the whole space with a new connection that joins the over and the underground station. This new connection or axis generates a path where a series of opportunity spaces appear, opportunity spaces for performance. There where you usually find ads promoting consumption, you will find actors, musicians and other artists that will draw your attention. I intend to break the barrier of traditional theater where the roles of actors and viewers are strictly limited. Here, the commuters are part of an hourly performance of comings and goings, while the actors can mix with them or observe them from behind the walls. This way, I create a new cultural space intersected with the station, where I replace consumerism with performance and theater culture. For the execution of the project, I propose to follow a constructive strategy adapted to the ground preconditions and the proximity of the nearby buildings. The Berlin metro technique is chosen as the building method. This consists of building firstly the vertical structure with foundation piling, and then executing slowly the slabs from top to bottom. This methodology, although being slower and more complex than traditional processes, significantly reduces the ground movements and possible damage on nearby constructions. In parts of the building, one can perceive the cylindric texture of the construction piles with a raw, shotcrete finish. The small water leaks that could happen are incorporated into the design and are funneled inside the patio. The last slab at the bottom is executed as a suppression slab. From here, a new tunnel is built to connect both sides of the building under the existing metro platform. This will be executed after previously freezing the ground with a micropile umbrella and some jet grouting injections following the form of a fan for the lateral ground retention. In order to express the clear opposition towards the amount of waste we generate, I propose to incorporate recycled materials in the construction and finishes. These finishes are referencing the materiality found in the Moscow metro stations and adapting them to a post-carbon reality where we can and we must use recycled materials. I decide to work with recycled plastics because they represent the biggest portion of non-biodegradable waste found in landfills. I experiment with them to find building solutions. I end up using it as plastic agglomerate to non-structural concrete and as recycled plastic blocks 23 x 40 x 22 centimeters used in walls and facade. Teatro Conexión Kievskaya is a unique cultural space for interactive art where one can see and be seen, observe and be observed. It is a clear criticism against consumerism as a way of entertainment. And it's a reference to the palaces for the people, interpreted in the post-carbon era. Thank you very much.